Hello and welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. Today I have with me a special guest, Mr. Tariq Reddy. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, man. Enjoying the Champions League?
Yeah. A really good game so far.
Yeah, I mean, these one-legged quarterfinals have been more exciting. They've been quite exciting. Despite no fans and everything, it's been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, big time. It's a change of the normal tradition. Like if you lose, you lose. Like there's no second leg chance.
Yeah. I mean, they'll probably change back to the normal thing next year, but for now, it's a pretty good format for this year, considering the circumstances.
I mean, yeah, it makes things like very fun to watch and intense, and you don't usually have that when you watch the Champions League. You have to wait 2 weeks for the second leg, and it's always the second leg is the exciting one, not the first.
Yeah, and we just finished the quarterfinals on Saturday, and then Tuesday is the semifinals. We never saw something like
Yeah,
that.
it's too fast, but it's good.
Yeah,
It's
it's good.
fun while it lasts.
Yeah, for sure. Now looking ahead to the semifinals, the first game is Leipzig versus PSG. Leipzig have been playing really well despite not having Werner. They set up really well against Atletico, and this PSG side, they left it really late against Atalanta, even though they dominated much of the second half, but they left it really late. How are you looking at this semifinal? What are your thoughts going into this match?
So I saw the stat the other day where all the teams that had around 20 days of a break before the Champions League, like the German and French teams in particular, because the French league, when the COVID thing happened, they just canceled the league, and the German league finished early because there's less teams. So now you see the semifinals are two German and two French teams, and they beat teams that had much less rest, around 2 to 3 days, or no, 2 to 3 to around a week of days rest before coming into the Champions League. It's very interesting because it proves that fitness is a big part of football, and you could see that Leipzig beat Atletico. And when I watched that game, it just felt as though Leipzig was much better in terms of stamina and fitness, and Atletico couldn't keep up with them. And the same with Atlanta. The second half, they scored a goal in the first half, and then after that, they were just exhausted. You can see they couldn't do anything. So it's just and Lyon City game and Lyon versus Juventus. Usually, Lyon wouldn't beat those teams, but I think it's a large part of it is the fitness levels. Lyon had a huge time to recover, and so going back to the Leipzig PSG game, it's going to be a hard game to predict because both teams are similar fitness levels, and Leipzig are on form. They just beat Atletico Madrid, and not only are they on form, but I saw a team that's very much better than I expected them to be.
Well organized, and they're right there up for the fight.
Yeah, their coach too has a decent record, and is a very good tactician. Whereas PSG, which was led by Neymar, honestly, I think that was one of the best games I've ever watched Neymar play. Despite him missing chances, he created so much, and he dribbled I think 17 dribbles. That's the most in Champions League history. So it's gonna be I think that's gonna be the game to watch from the other one, just because of Leipzig's tactics and fitness versus just prime Neymar, which will be fun to watch.
Yeah. Where do you stand on the Neymar thing? Because, if they lost that game, there would be a lot of criticism going his way. People are still saying, he's not on that level. He needs to improve his end product. But where do you stand about Neymar as a player? Do you think this is his biggest test, winning the Champions League with PSG?
Definitely, but with in the Champions League, a lot I think a lot of it is luck. So if you get lucky and you have the skill, people will rate you. Like for example, Man City, and in particular Sterling, who I think is world class. He missed that opportunity, and now he's seen as one of the worst players. Kevin De Bruyne is not seen in that light anymore as the best, one of the best players in the world this year, just because they lost that game. And also Pep Guardiola, as a tactician, is seen as he did the biggest failure by playing three defensive midfielders. But it was honestly like I was watching the game and it was luck. So Sterling missed an open goal. You could argue that's skill because he didn't have the composure to finish, but because of that unluckiness, and then Lyon scoring two goals out of nowhere, uh, people would have said, "Oh, Sterling could or KDB should be Ballon d'Or worthy this year if they were to make it to the next round, to the semis, and possibly win." So I don't agree with people who will stop rating Neymar if he lost that game. I mean, I think he'd be the same in my opinion. It's a lot of luck in this competition.
But he does need to improve his end product, right? Like, I mean, finishing wise, you think so, or?
I mean, I don't know. I think he was unlucky because usually his finishing, if you saw with Barcelona and even
Yeah, it was
PSG
top
in the
class.
league,
Yeah.
it's top class finishing. It's not like
So,
Bettner or something, who misses
yeah,
open goals.
yeah,
Or even Benzema. Sometimes Benzema improved, but there are players that are known for missing and are
yeah,
not good at finishing. He isn't one of them, in my
yeah.
opinion. Yeah.
And so your prediction for this game?
Um, Although initially I thought Leipzig will win this, after seeing that stat where the German and French teams' stamina levels, and now that it's on equal ground, I think PSG will win, and probably like let's say 3-0 PSG.
3-0 PSG.
Yeah, because
After
Mbappe.
praising Leipzig so much.
Yes, so that's the thing. So I rated them because they beat Atletico, and then when I saw the stat that they
Yeah,
had much higher stamina levels,
yeah.
I don't rate them as much anymore. But it's not only that. I actually also rate
PSG really
Neymar
high. Yeah,
and of course Mbappe being back. So
yeah.
uh, I mean anything could happen.
Yeah, so you're going 3-0 PSG. I'll go uh, a bit tighter, 2-1, 2-1 PSG.
Go on, please.
Yeah, just because of it's a semi-final, I think it'll be a bit cagey initially, but there will be goals in that game. But like the point you're talking about, the break, right? The stamina levels. It's very interesting. Like the French league actually they didn't play since the lockdown. Like the German league, they still played, right?
Exactly.
But like I was expecting rustiness from like Lyon and from PSG. They didn't play for 5-6 months. I was expecting rustiness, but there was no rustiness like in their performances. Like maybe
I
you could
think
say Neymar a bit, but like I mean not Neymar. Sorry, I mean like missing those chances. You could put it down to rustiness, but it wasn't. Like they were still like on top of their game.
yes and no, because the reason I say no is because they had friendlies and they had the French Cup, so they did have some games. And yes, you're right in terms of Neymar missing those chances. And if you think about it, Lyon lost to Juventus, and then although they beat City, they weren't impressive as impressive as Leipzig. They had the fitness levels to keep up with City's attack and with Juventus's attacks enough to progress.
Which is strange considering that like they haven't played competitive football for so long.
Yes, but they did play some friendlies, and it's if you think about it, it is strange because normally when you come back from preseason, you're
Yeah,
rusty in the
yeah,
beginning. It proves that fitness is more important than being on form because they were able to proceed to the next round, even though Man City were probably on form because they just beat Real Madrid.
yeah,
Lyon's fitness was able to stop that on form City attack.
yeah. And a bit of luck as well for sure. Now moving on to the next semi-final. Oh my God, man! Bayern Munich versus Lyon. Did you expect that 8-2 coming?
I didn't expect 8-2. I actually expected Napoli to beat Barca and end it over there.
Yeah.
But the 8-2, no, I expected more like a 3-0 for Bayern, 3-1. But wow, that's like proper German dominance. They do it
Yeah.
against Brazil.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, they're efficient. Like,
You know what the strange thing is when I saw the game, when I was watching the game in the beginning, when Barcelona equalized early on, when it was 1-1, Barca actually had 2-3 chances. I saw gaps in that German defense.
hmm.
Barca had opportunities to score, whether it was Messi or Suarez, but there were gaps and they were open for like 5-10 minutes. at the back. But like now, but then after that, they just took over and relentless. Like you said, they're very efficient, very clinical, and like so. Even if they do have weaknesses, it gets covered by this efficiency, right?
Yeah. I mean, definitely. There was also a funny moment in the game where when Alaba scored that own goal, it
Yeah,
became 1-1.
yeah,
They were laughing. Alaba and Neuer were like smiling, like, "Oh, okay, this is no big deal." Like
yeah.
they had their mentality is the German mentality is the strongest part. Like they just believe they're gonna win, and it's almost as if you think Cristiano Ronaldo was German. It's like that type of mental strength.
They always go with the belief that they're gonna win.
Exactly, and they just exploited the Barca's weakness, which is just high press and uh, like the leaky defense they have.
Do you give Leon any chance, any luck, anything in this game? Like
No,
nothing, huh?
no chance at all. No
How do
chance.
you see this game panning out?
Probably another 8-0, something crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I mean,
no, it won't be 8-0 because the reason why it was 8-0 with Barca is because Barca kept trying to score and attack, and their defense was left open. Lyon is not going to go into the game like that. They just saw what Bayern did. They're going to sit back and try to take it to penalties. Uh, but it's going to probably, the floodgates are going to open. Probably be a 3-4-0, in my opinion. 4-0, probably.
you're going 4-0 Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
I'll go. I want to say 2-1 Leon, Memphis Depay. Memphis
But
Depay. Just for kicks, man. But like this, like to be honest with you, against City, at the back of my mind, I had a slight feeling that Leon can win it. Like, even though I thought City were 90% favorites, but I had this slight thing. But now I have zero feeling that Leon can win it, but I just want them to win.
like the Lyon beating City is more predictable than Lyon beating Bayern,
100%, 100%,
and
100%.
it's all Guardiola. Like he goes crazy
Yeah,
and
because if you,
messes up every
that's
time.
what I was saying. Like, I completely agree with you. I didn't tell you at that time, but because you were talking about something else as well. But like when you mentioned about the Lux stuff, is completely true. But the thing is, there is something to it because if you look at the pattern of the last 4 years of quarterfinals, whether it's Monaco, Liverpool, Tottenham, and now Lyon, these four teams out of the four, you at least expect City to be three of them on any
Yeah,
given day, especially on a European night, and especially if you look at it this year, like they wanted it so badly. He was focused, and they had no Premier League distraction. They had no other
exactly.
distraction. So
It was their year to win it.
yeah, but Guardiola does tactically. He like it's very slight. Like the thing is, you people don't criticize it because it's still good football to watch, right? They still dominate games. Like they'll say unlucky and everything, but there are some tactical errors there. There's a pattern there which
Yeah,
is costing him games,
I, I
especially
always I always see Guardiola as probably the best manager for in terms of league football
yeah.
because consistently he will get those 3 points match games in and out. Like probably every 5 games he'll drop points, but when it comes to competition and tournament, you can't change up your tactics. You have to play your strongest team, and he just over tactician, like overthinks it to the point where he sees a game like it's a league game, so it's okay if I lose. Maybe I'll learn from this. He has that kind of mentality where no, you in a tournament you can't lose. You there's no you can't rotate players. You can't, and he ends up like testing his tactics during like these big games, which is
Yeah.
his biggest weakness.
Yeah, and like if he lost to like Bayern or something like that, like probably wouldn't give him as much criticism. But like he's losing to teams where he should beat them on any other day, right?
Definitely, it's yeah, you're right. He lost to Real Madrid with Bayern Munich,
yeah,
and uh,
and
he
he
lost
didn't.
4-0. And
They lost 4-0. This was when he was coaching Bayern. Yes.
when he was coaching Bayern, and that Bayern team was one of the strongest I've ever seen, and should not have lost 4-0 to Real
Yeah.
Madrid. So yeah,
But
but
yeah.
so yeah, Bayern versus PSG final. I'm
PSG,
predicting.
yeah. So you went with PSG winning 3-0 and Bayern beating
4-0.
Lyon 4-0.
One
I'll
of the
go.
easiest semifinals,
uh,
my opinion.
yeah, I mean, okay, I'll go. Yeah, I'm sticking to my predictions. I'll go PSG 2-1 and Lyon 2-1. Memphis Depay.
Okay.
Remember the name, yeah? He's gonna get Ballon d'Or.
Memphis Depay.
Memphis Depay. Remember the name. But yeah, I'm also expecting a Bayern PSG final.
Listen,
That'll be crazy. Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll promise you, if Lyon makes it to the final, I'll buy a Memphis jersey, a Lyon Memphis. I swear.
Done.
All
But
right.
yeah, it'll be very interesting. And if it's a PSG Bayern final, your prediction for that? I mean, yeah, like if like not the prediction. How do you think
Um,
that game will go?
Bayern will destroy them.
Yeah. So you're
It's
looking at
Bayern. Look,
Bayern is
I've
is
seen.
Bayern's league for you. Like it's their
It's
championship.
yeah. Every Champions League, the team that dominates from the beginning and gets those big scores,
Yeah.
it's in their mind. They're like, this is ours to lose.
Yeah.
So I've seen that a lot with teams who dominate from the beginning. They never end up losing the Champions League. They always go for it.
Yeah.
So I feel bad for Neymar and Mbappe, but I don't think it's their.
But if they do get to the finals, if it's these two teams, I'm telling you, I see that there's a small 1% weakness in that defense. I think Neymar might exploit it. Like it's far fetched, but like I
Look,
think he will exploit. I just have that feeling. But at the same time, I completely agree with you. I don't disagree. Like Bayern right now look like a machine. They just wanna
if
go for the kill.
if you remember, actually, in the group stages, Bayern had Tottenham and they beat them. Was it 7-2?
7-2 or 7-1 something
And
like
then
that.
they beat Barcelona 8-2, and then they before this round they beat who was it before this where they won a big score before Barca's game.
Oh,
They
Chelsea
play
4-0.
they beat them 4-0 home and 3-0 away,
Yeah.
7-0 aggregate.
Yeah.
They're like it's theirs to lose.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree with you. Before we go, the player to watch out for in the semifinals for you, give me two players from like each from
Okay,
each stage.
definitely Neymar,
Yeah.
definitely. And the other game, Bayern's game, Lewandowski for sure.
You know who I'm gonna look out for.
Memphis.
But yeah, I think we pretty much summed everything up. If you have any last thoughts, let me know about these games. But I think we summed up most of it.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure. Hopefully, see you after the games.
Pleasure's mine.
And take care. Enjoy the games, man.
Thank you. You too.